I keep forgetting to state one very important thing when I film. I'm not wearing the same thing on repeat, guys. This is the same day that I filmed my previous video. I just wanted to make that clear because, like, I didn't want you guys to think, like, why is she wearing the same thing in another video? But anyways, yeah, it's the same day. I'm here to film part 2 of Am I the A-hole? Every time I've like gone lower down in size of what device I'm using. First I used a laptop, then an iPad, and now I'm using my phone. But you know what, it's easier to hold. So we're gonna go straight into it, no time to waste. And of course, categories are you are the a-hole, you're not the a-hole. So let's get straight into it. First one could get interesting. Am I the a-hole for pointing out a period stain to my co-worker? Oh, this is gonna be awkward. So first of all, I'm a guy and my co-worker is a girl and she's about a decade older than me and we don't know each other very well. Tonight, about an hour before closing, we were sweeping up together and I noticed that she had a blood stain on her pants from her period. So I pulled her aside and whispered, I just wanted to let you know I think you may have got your period. I have a jacket if you need it. And then she pursed her lips at me and said okay and then stormed away. Now I just got home and I'm wiped and my boss texted me saying I need to call him tomorrow to talk about the situation that I said something very inappropriate to my co-worker. I texted back saying I was genuinely trying to help her out if she didn't know about the stain, but he said she interpreted it differently and told a different story, but we'd talk about it tomorrow because he wanted to go to sleep. Now I'm freaking out. I wasn't trying to shame her or anything about it and I don't think, in brackets I hope, it didn't come off like that. Am I the a-hole? Well, if it went down the way that this person has said it did, then you aren't the a-hole. I honestly do think this was like a genuine thing, like you was trying to just help her in that situation, because from the way you explained it, you pulled her to the side, you made it discreet, didn't say it in front of everyone, you even offered you a jacket if she needed it to like cover up around the area. So no, not the a-hole if that is the way it played out. Am I the a-hole for being sarcastic with another parent? I, 22 male, am a single dad to my daughter, 5 female. Her mum is very inconsistent in her life and when it's things like Christmas, birthdays, she shows up and it's all sunshine and unicorns, but otherwise she can't be bothered. Too busy pursuing the normal 20s she so craved. This past weekend my daughter was invited to a birthday party, the parents were invited and more or less encouraged to stay. I had nothing better to do so I stayed. Most of the parents I knew, but there were a few I didn't. At this point I'm used to watching people work out the age math in real time. I've explained that I know I'm young but I'd like to think I deserve some kudos for being 5 years in and I'd like to think I'm not totally incompetent. About a half hour in, this lady comes up to me, asks which one is mine. I pointed my daughter Morgan out. I asked her which is hers and she pointed her daughter out. She goes, so you're an older cousin pulling chauffeur duty or a stepbrother, or I said that I was Morgan's dad. Shocked look which she quickly tried to get rid of. She asked if Morgan's mum was at this party too. I said she wasn't and I told her I was a single dad. I didn't want to get into all the specifics and say Morgan's mum only shows up when it's fun days like birthdays and Christmas. This lady goes, geez, and you know what you're doing? I said that I take it day by day, situation by situation. She goes, you really have to know what you're doing. I told her I understood. She asked me what my plan is if I started to slip as a parent. I told her my plan is to drive Morgan into the woods, tape $20 to her wrist, give her a hearty handshake, wish her good luck and tell her to run free. Lady gets mad, tells me she asked me a legitimate question and says she hopes that my clear lack of maturity doesn't seep into my parenting. I walked over to Morgan, gave her a big hug, told her I loved her and kept it moving. Am I the a-hole? I honestly... Why is that kind of funny? I actually thought it was a little bit funny. No, but you know what? You're not the a-hole because you've clearly stated to this woman that you are Morgan's dad and you know that you are working it through day by day and doing the best that you can, because no matter how old you are, no first parent is going to have experience of someone who's got like 3 kids, you know what I mean? Regardless of your age, you're trying your best and you're being a supportive dad there for her, and she just kept, by the looks of it, interrogating you. So no, you're not the a-hole. No way. What's this one? Am I the a-hole telling my brother he can't come to my wedding? What? Let's get into this. Oh my gosh, this one's quite long, but I'm here for it. I'm 32 female and my fiance, 30 male, are getting married in 3 months. We've done some major and minor planning, including rules. We specifically want no kids at the wedding. My brother, 35 male, and I have always been close. We've gotten through a lot together. He has 2 amazing kids, 2 and 3. I couldn't be any happier to be their aunt. Their mother has had issues with substance abuse, so she isn't in their lives. My brother raises the kids by himself, which is convenient because he has an at-home job. Me and my fiance decided we did not want any kids at our wedding because we were going to be drinking, partying and other stuff I personally wouldn't want kids to be around. Okay, understandable. We've also had struggles trying to have children of our own recently, and I recently had a miscarriage in February. The miscarriage was devastating. Of course, my brother was there to comfort me, but the sight of my nieces shattered me even more. I asked him not to bring them around me for a while. He didn't respond to that well and stopped visiting me at all. He said via text messages, "If your own nieces cannot come, neither will I." My fiance said it was okay to ask for no kids to be around, but my parents were frustrated. They also stopped visiting me. I eventually sent out invitations to all of my loved ones. The card had all the details, included the bolded "no kids." Majority of family was okay with that and didn't have young kids anyway. My brother, on the other hand, was going to be in my wedding, but once he read the invitation, he sent me a text stating, "Wouldn't your nieces make great flower girls? Going to buy dresses now." I replied saying, "No need, they cannot come inside my wedding, no hard feelings." He then said it shouldn't apply to them, they are family, what colour should they get, blue or silver? I then replied, "None. If you feel like you cannot be separated from your children for a couple hours, then you cannot come to my wedding. My rules are clear and final on the invitation." I blocked my brother after that. I've non-stop been getting text after text, call after call, begging me to talk to my brother and allow my nieces to come. My own parents have stated that until my nieces and brother are allowed at my wedding, they will not be there. It's really hard because, like, the fact that you've said that you've gone for a miscarriage, that is a really, really big thing. It could have, well, would have a big toll on someone's mental health and like their whole situation with being around kids and things for a while. So I'm gonna say overall not the a-hole, although I do feel like maybe you should try reach out to your brother, maybe to try like talk things through, and with your parents as well. But yeah, really, really difficult one there. Whoa! Am I the a-hole for asking if my daughter-in-law fell when I heard of her miscarriage? Come again? Let's get into this. Trigger warning, pregnancy loss. My son announced his wife's pregnancy at 8 weeks after hearing the heartbeat. Unfortunately, she had a miscarriage around 10 weeks. When my son called me on the phone, I was so shocked that I just blurted out, "Why did she fall?" She did not fall, by the way. I didn't realise I was on speakers during that call and my daughter-in-law overheard my reaction. When she got pregnant again, they didn't announce until well into the second trimester. Due to my daughter-in-law ending in a very unexpected C-section, my son requested to help come over. I cooked, I cleaned, did laundry for them, washed the baby, etc. Despite all my hard work, she was still very cold towards me and treated me rather poorly. I finally asked her why, and she admitted that she was furious when I sounded very blaming when I asked if she fell, and that's why her previous pregnancy ended in a miscarriage. I told her that I asked if she fell not to blame her in any way in a sense, but out of concern for her. I said that I'm aware that there are other reasons that miscarriages occur, as members of my immediate family have suffered the same. I was very sad to hear the news. All of us were so happy, excited about her first pregnancy, and then the next day heard the sad news. We all called to speak to her directly and see how she was, but we're told she was not ready to speak. We tried to give the space and the time that she needed for the situation. I don't think she believed me though. Am I the a-hole for asking my daughter-in-law if she fell and that's why she had a miscarriage? Yeah, you are the a-hole, because this person has stated that members in their immediate family had also had miscarriages for other reasons, like not because they fell. So if you know other people, multiple other people that have had miscarriages and it wasn't because they fell, then why would you assume that she fell? My camera just died again, great, so I had to change the batteries. But yeah, you are the a-hole. Am I the a-hole for putting a lock on my door? I don't really understand why this would be an a-hole move, but let's go for it. So my grandma is staying around our house, just me and my mum until my nephew is born. I love my gran, don't get me wrong. I respect her and I don't want to be disrespectful, hence why I'm asking here. Unfortunately, she doesn't understand personal space, which is hard for me as I have autism. I have put a lock on my door as when I am away, she comes into my room and does whatever she wishes. My room is my safe space where everything is how I need it to be. Whenever I'm away at work, she comes into my room and changes things, even watered my plants so much that they were filled to the brim with water and I had to clean up water that was spilled on my windowsill. Things started going missing and everything I have put how I want it is changed. But then she complains to my mum that she has to constantly clean my room even though it's quite tidy for the size it is. Or she would walk into my bedroom whilst I was asleep and make loads of noise. It had gotten to the point where I was dreading to come home after work due to the impact it had on me to see everything changed. So to avoid this, I put a lock on my room. Bear in mind, both myself and my mum have asked around her twice a day to not go in my room. I assume this upset her as my mum went off on me about how it is disrespectful to do so. I can see how that could be perceived from my grandma's point of view, but am I really the a-hole for doing this? No, you're not. Like, personal space is a big thing and you do need time alone sometimes, like that's fine. And if you've got a way, oh my camera's moving, if you've got a way like how you like your room and how you like things to be, obviously you don't want it to change, you've done it for a reason. So no, not the a-hole here. Oh, am I the a-hole for telling someone that his achievement just meant that he had rich parents? Oh, this could get juicy. I, 23 male, have been with my current company for a year now. Recently, a new guy, Jack, joined our team fresh out of college. Last Friday, my manager invited everyone to a bar after work. There, Jack told everyone about an achievement he had obtained over spring break. He had visited his 150th country, Cambodia. In contrast to everyone else who were asking things such as, what was the best, worst, strangest things you ate? Which countries were your favourite? Any cool stories? I just said good for you and went back to my drink. Jack noticed me being upset and asked me why I wasn't joining in. I said don't worry about me, but Jack kept pressing the issue. I finally said, Jack, visiting 150 countries is cool and all, but it doesn't say anything about you as a person. It just means you have rich parents who could afford to travel internationally several times a year. I grew up poor, literally, worked my off in high school, got a full ride merit scholarship, and did everything humanly possible to land my current 6-figure job. Rich people who think they're better than everyone else just because they had rich parents is a huge pet peeve of mine, but co-workers don't know any of that, since I like to keep work and my personal life as separated as possible. Jack got really quiet after that and soon left afterwards. Now it's Monday morning. I'm wondering if I should have kept my mouth shut. I'm gonna say this one's really hard because I mean it's not really an accomplishment, it's just more of like a life experience, so I can maybe get why his wording would annoy you, but also at the same time, like, everyone has different life experiences, I guess. I don't know, this one's really hard. I honestly couldn't tell you, am I the a-hole, am I not the a-hole? I can see why it triggered a nerve though, because obviously if you know, worked really hard to get to where you are, and this person kind of grew up in a wealthy family, it might hurt a bit. But yeah, I don't know that one. Whoa, am I the a-hole for taking my daughter's paycheck for the whole summer? Need to hear this. My daughter, 16, caused a huge amount of damage to the family car around May. It was 100% her fault since she was texting while driving and went off the curb. She was fine, but the wheels and axles got messed up badly. It would cost about $3,000 to get it fixed. Luckily, our insurance covered that, even though our rates did go up, so the car got fixed up. My wife and I decided that she needed to pay back as a punishment, so we had to get her a job, fast food, and have been collecting her money after every pay period. This got back to my sister and she blew up on me about stealing from our kid and called me an a-hole. I need an outside opinion. Money we are taking goes into her college account. Her paychecks are pocket change to what me and my wife bring in. We don't need it. We are doing it as a lesson and that's it. I mean, it's going into her college funds. You guys are trying to do the best thing for her, and at the end of the day, it is somewhat a punishment for her destroying the car. So I'm going to say you're not the a-hole. Okay, the final one we're going to do is, am I the a-hole for embarrassing my cousin in front of everyone at my wedding? Let's go. I, 28 male, and my wife, 29 female, got married in May. We had the wedding at this beautiful hotel. We had about 150 people attending. I have one friend, 29 male, who has a service dog and is in a wheelchair. He was in an accident a few years ago and is paralysed from the waist. His dog is always well behaved and nobody made a fuss. My cousin, 32 female, has a Great Dane that is untrained and nobody in the family likes the dog. I made it clear to her many times that the dog was not welcome to the wedding. Well, the day of the wedding, she shows up late with her dog on a leash. Sorry, it was just the way that worded made me laugh. My father and I were furious and I told her to leave with the dog. She refused and then let the dog off the leash. She promised he would be on his best behaviour. He started jumping on people, tried to play with my friend's service dog, and overall upsetting everyone there. My cousin's defence was that he's a therapy dog and that she can't leave without him. She then pointed out that my friend brought a dog to the wedding, so it wasn't a big deal. I started yelling at her and there was a huge difference between a well-trained service dog and her dog. Everyone was staring at us at this point and she grabbed her dog and left crying. My aunt approached me after the wedding that I didn't have to embarrass my cousin like that as she was struggling with mental health. I explained that I told her many times before the wedding that the dog was not welcome. My cousin is now trying to paint me as the bad guy. She sent me multiple messages demanding an apology. Am I the a-hole for embarrassing my cousin in front of everyone at my wedding? I mean, the thing that I can't really get my head around is was that dog a legitimate, because don't therapy dogs have to be trained, right? And she said that the dog was untrained, but then that could just be personal opinion. I'm gonna say overall you're not the a-hole because you know, even just the way it was handled, like when she brought a dog and you told her no, that the dog can't be here, and then she just takes it off the leash, like, yeah, I'm gonna say you're not the a-hole because obviously it got into a heated argument and sometimes things come out in the moment. But guys, that is all the Reddit confessions I'm going to be reacting to today. If you want me to do some more, then let me know because I for sure do those. I actually really find them quite fun to film. But yeah guys, I really hope you enjoyed. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.